You want to buy your next rental property? I know you've been thinking about it. You even been scrolling all night, Zillow, but something's stopping you. And I'm going to tell you right now is one of three things. Most landlords don't even realize it's happening to them. Stay with me and I'm going to break down all three real quick. Today's episode is sponsored by Baselane. We'll talk more about that later. Welcome back to another episode of Wealth Within Reach. I am Erica Brown and I help landlords and aspiring landlords to figure out how to make money with real estate and how to stay in the game. Okay. Not just buy the property, but help you actually stay in the game. So if you aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. I drop episodes between 1 to 2 times a week that is going to equip you and help you stay in the game. All right, let's get into it. Okay, so the first reason why you haven't bought another property is because you think the only way to buy another rental property is to put 20% down. So what are you doing? You're waiting, you're saving, you're waiting, and you're saving some more. And it's taking forever. Okay. And guess what? Life is still lifing. Costs are going up. Gas is at $5 a gallon. Inflation is not on your side. But here's what I want you to know. The problem is not that you don't have the money. The problem is that you don't know where to look for it. I teach my clients, number one, there's so many other ways that you can buy a rental property without having to put 20% down. And if you do truly need to put 20% down, there are various strategies that you can leverage to help you not have to drain your savings. A few of those strategies are using existing equity from your current properties, seller financing, vacation home loan financing. These are just a few ways that can prevent you from having to actually put down 20% cash to buy your next rental property. So while the market is soft and prices are dropping, you're missing out not because you don't have the money, but because you don't really have the right strategy. Oh yeah, and by the way, that's exactly why you need to come to my free class. I'm teaching landlords how to actually finance their deal with some of these strategies that I'm talking about. So just make sure you go to the link below and for sure sign up for my class. It's absolutely free. I'll talk more about that later. Okay, let's talk about the second reason why you haven't bought your next rental property. You haven't bought your next rental property because your current one is draining you. I mean, the house is on fire. It's kind of like when you're a young parent and you are in that toddler phase and you're trying to figure out how do you deal with having to go back to work, having to help these kids, how to feed them, and then how to show up for yourself. And someone has the nerve to ask you if you're going to have another kid. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm trying to manage the one I got. If you can't even think about buying the next deal because your current property feels like a part-time job, then you're going to be held back for years. You know this is you if you're struggling with finding tenants for your properties, you don't have enough bookings with your short-term rental, and you're scrambling to figure out how you're going to pay the bills every month. Or maybe your contractor is taking their pretty little time to finish their renovation, and you're frustrated because you're over time and over budget. Or maybe you're just barely breaking even and you're really going through and you're wondering, is this even for me? Should I really even keep going? Here's the truth. Before you add more doors, you're going to have to create systems that actually help you to save time, that will create time so that you can look for your next deal. Because one thing I know is that a broken rental doesn't get better when you multiply it. I've absolutely been there. When we bought our 20-unit apartment complex in 2021, someone sent me an amazing deal. I mean, it was like a triplex. It was in a great up-and-coming neighborhood. It was a great deal, but I could even feel like I can bring my head above water to really even look at the deal and figure out how to finance it and do all the things that's required to look at a deal because I was drowning with the new project, drowning with renovations, drowning with the market rapidly changing, drowning with figuring out, how we're going to refinance this deal, all the things. So if this is you, then it's not that you need to find the next deal. You need to create systems so you can create margin so that you have time to find the next deal. If you're serious about scaling your properties in 2026, the question you should be asking is not what properties should I buy? It's do I actually have the systems in place to manage what I currently have? I've been running a $5 million real estate portfolio for years now. And the single biggest thing that has allowed me to run my portfolio without chaos, without the missed deductions, without the messy books, and without the tax panic is my tech stack. I'm going to pull back the curtain and show you the exact tools I use to run my business and grow my business. And I'm starting with the first tool that is the financial backbone of my real estate business. Now, before I get into this portion of today's video is sponsored by Baselane. And yes, I am a paid partner, but I want to be really clear. Only recommend tools that I actually use. I use this because it solves real problems that I have in my business. So let's get into it. Let me take you back when I had a handful of properties and I was doing the same things that most of you guys are doing. I was commingling my personal expenses and my business expenses. I wasn't tracking anything. And every now and then I updated the spreadsheet whenever I got around to it. And then when it came around the tax season, it was a total mess. And I found myself year after year constantly apologizing to my accountant. Can you relate to that? I was moving money between personal and business expenses, and I had no idea what was which one was for this renovation and which one was for the bathroom update in my personal property. I had no real picture of how my properties were actually performing, and everything was stuck in my head. I knew that I need to fix this if I wanted to scale. And now I know that you cannot run a $5 million portfolio the same way you run 1 to 2 properties. That's when I found Baselane, and it genuinely changed how I operate completely. Baselane is an integrated banking and bookkeeping platform made by real estate investors for real estate investors. It's not a general business tool that works kind of for landlords. It's actually made for us. And what it does is it brings everything together in one place between your banking, your bookkeeping, your property management, your rent collection, your reporting, all under one roof. And the beautiful thing is it organizes everything broken down property by property. Here's exactly how I use it. Number one, I use it for property specific banking. Have you heard the people wanting to get a bank account per property? With just traditional banking, that can be a full out nightmare. But with Baselane, because it's so easy to set up a bank account and have everything separated under one roof, it makes it much easier if that's how you want to manage your properties. AI powered bookkeeping. This is one of my favorite parts about Baselane because Baselane uses AI to categorize your transactions automatically. And it's not just by general category, it's by specific tax categories based on your transactions. It uses real estate specific charter of accounts that's already built into the platform. And it's helpful because I'm not trying to change a platform that's really built for online jewelry or restaurants. It's built by us for us. My books pretty much are essentially done and my accountant loves me for it. I also love the rent collection and the money management piece. Love that it has automated rent collection and reminders so I'm not constantly having to check in and tell my people to pay on time. And when they pay late, for me, for example, I charge $100 late fee if my rent is paid after the 5th. I love that I can customize my specific rent strategy and that it automatically sends reminders to them so that I don't have to do it. When it comes time to file my taxes, Baselane has all of my transactions tagged, receipts attached, and everything is just organized in one place. It saves me countless hours. All I have to do is go in, generate my report, download it, and send it off to my team. If you're ready to get your rental finances in order and you're trying to get off of that manual spreadsheet that you're not updating anyways, and you really want to be able to have an all-in platform that does everything for you so that you don't have to spend all your time trying to figure this out, then you need to download Baselane. And the beautiful thing is when you sign up, you get $100 cash bonus. So let's get your business running like it should. So if you want to join me plus 50,000 other real estate investors who are using Baselane, you could just actually go to the link below and sign up. Okay, number 3. Here is the last one and the one I see most common. You can't find your next deal because you are fully stuck in analysis paralysis. You want to buy the vacation home loan. You want to buy the multifamily in St. Louis. You heard about Cleveland was a great market. And you also thinking about moving out your current house and making your current house a rental and moving into another one. You are all over the place. What we call that is that you don't have a specific buy box. You don't have a specific search criteria of what your next property is going to be that aligns with your goals. And because you don't have that, That's why you ain't did nothing, because you're confused. When we're confused, we don't do nothing, y'all. Nothing. Okay. We need to move from confusion to clarity. All right. Clarity. And that's exactly why I am teaching my class on March 26th. The biggest mistake landlords make and how to fix them is because one of the biggest mistakes you make is not having a buy box, not actually being able to move from analysis paralysis to clarity. And you have no idea, but that is absolutely holding you back. It's kind of like when you finally come off vacation and you just have so many emails and you have so much going on, and it can feel like you have so many things to do that you don't do nothing. That's how y'all are with y'all strategies. You have too many strategies and you end up just not doing anything. This is actually one of the first things I do when I work with clients, whether it's my cohort or my mastermind. One of the first things we're going to do is we're going to, one, figure out what your values are. And what I mean by your values, I'm going to figure out, what do you want your life to look like now, the next 3 years, the next 5 years? What do you want your days to look like? What do you want to give your time to? And then from there, we're going to reverse engineer your values to then align with your strategy. And ultimately, this is a whole episode in itself. Like fully, let me know if I should do one on this. But your buy box is determined by your budget. Okay. We don't need to be having $1 million buy box with a $2 budget. Okay. And so your budget, your down payment, your financing options that I started with step 1 is going to determine your step 3. Okay. And then from there, you get the clarity you need. Let me know which mistake connects the most to you. And if any of these mistakes hit home for you, then you absolutely should come to my free class, March 26th. The link is in my bio to register. Thanks again for watching. Please send this to someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.